I'm going to go back and log in again. Okay. I'm going to do uname -r. Now we have a new kernel. How do you compare a kernel with something in reality? Kernel is like a seed.
I did not log in because I already pressed IN96, but it says no route to host.
Okay. Yeah, because you did you work on LVM?
Yesterday it worked, but now also it worked. But after I pressed IN96, I don't know why it is going to emergency mode.
Did you work on it yesterday?
Yeah. I yesterday worked in Bond, not LBM.
I'm going to put a pound sign in front of it. If you put a pound sign in front of it, then it won't be red. So this is a best practice. I'll show you this when we did a little bit of scripting today.
Okay.
Okay, so your system did get upgraded good.
So new kernel I upgraded.
What?
Yesterday I downloaded the new kernel maybe. So it is working or not, I'm not sure.
You did the same thing before we left off the class, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, it's working now. Go ahead and log in. Did you change the root password?
Zame PT8.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah. As long as it's working, you're good. Okay, so the kernel is updated just fine. So one other thing before we're done with the updates is I'll show you how to install the GUI version. It's not really necessary, but after the class is done, you could install on your local system here. Okay, don't worry about it too much, because you never really need it. Okay. Okay, so what you do is, it's very easy. What you have to do is you have to run yum install let's see here. Kind of don't know myself. Let's everybody actually go ahead and run this. We'll have some fun. Okay, you know what? Hold on, don't do that yet. Oh God. It's gonna install about 523 megabytes. Oh. I didn't do -y, so I'm just checking how much is going to check and give us a report how much is going to install. Ooh. I would say don't do it. Do this once we are done with the class, if you just want to have a kick out of this, okay? It's going to take too much time. It's going to install 1.9 gigabytes. It's going to download and then expand it to 1.9 gigabits. So do that on your server when before the class is over. I'm going to set up so that you have access to your local server, and then you could do it and install it many times you want.
So you're not installing it right now?
No, don't do it because my server, you're gonna make it crash because I don't have an enterprise level server here. It's still good, but the internet connection is not that good. It's not gonna handle like if you have like 5 people gonna do it, it's gonna be more than 10 gigabytes, and the system won't do it because the resources are low. It's not necessary. I mean, I'm telling you honestly, you never use it at work, but that is something you would have to do it on your own once the class is over. But if you have, I think your local setup is set up, right? Do it after the class, then you could see. I mean, it's going to be just like this here. It's going to be a lot of files coming down. But the advantage is you will have the GUI mode. That's it. The one I was showing you yesterday. And honestly, I didn't teach you anything in GUI. In fact, I don't even know how to use GUI properly. I have to take time and then install it. Not used in. And this is one of the reason here, because it's going to suck up. It's going to suck up the disk space. Disk space in the right now. Let's look at what is the size of the operating system here, right? All that thing is going to come down on this, on here, or SDA. Okay, SDA is 16 gigabytes. In corporate environment, usually this is no more than 8 gigabytes, and then everything else is stored on the LVMs. And if you want to add another 2 gigabytes, right? So if you add 2 gigabytes times, for example, if you have like 1,000 servers, it's gonna be a significant amount of disk space, right? So 2 gigabytes 10 times 2 terabytes of disk space. You could easily use that much disk space for somewhere else. Okay, it's not like disk space is gonna be an issue, but still you would have a smaller footprint, and the system is faster when you have like a smaller size operating system. We saw that yesterday, right? Let me turn on the server with the GUI and see how long it's gonna take to come up. Okay, so I have one server here. And then I have another server here. I'm gonna start it. Let's see which one is gonna come up.
Sir, can you please tell us what is AWS?
AWS is Amazon Web Services.
Is it mandatory for us to learn for system administrator people?
No. In fact, I have students who are, the one on the left came up so fast, and the one on the right is in GUI mode. It took a while. Okay, all these things matter if the system goes down and coming back up here. So the AWS, I could show you what AWS is, but Even people with AWS, you're not going to get a job unless you have a Linux environment here. So what AWS is, let me show you. Okay, so this is not being used in the corporate environment, so don't worry about it too much. But if you look at the kernel, we have the updated kernel here. Okay, so this came with the system-wide update. This update includes kernel also. What is kernel? Kernel is seed. Just remember, kernel is equal to seed. Okay, it's a seed of a tree. That's where the basic code is. So we end up doing the system-wide update. What if you want to do, if you don't want to do the system-wide update, if you only want to do the kernel update? Kernel only update. Okay, so if you want to do kernel only update, the command is yum list available kernel. Okay, so let's go to the second server. Go to your second server and run that command there. I'm on my second server and then I'm going to run that command. Okay, so now if you are on a second server, it's going to tell you that the following kernel is available. But before that, you find out the existing kernel. What is the command to find out the existing kernel? uname-r. Okay, this is the existing kernel. Okay, and this will provide the new upgraded kernel information. this will provide available upgrade. So if you particularly focus on this part here, you see the number, and that number is totally different from this number here. So that means it's a version up. It's 1062 and this is 1160. So it's a new version available. Any questions? Before that, let me tell you what I need to tell you this here. The class is not complete without I tell you this. So this is relevant with any version that comes in here. So this is kernel, and the information you see here is, what is the information you see about the kernel? This is the current kernel, right? So I'll break this down here, what it exactly means. Okay, so the first part is 3. What is happening here? First part is 3 here, and in there the next part is 10, and in there next part is 0, and next part is 1062. Okay, next part is EL7, lower EL7, and the next part is x86_64. So what does 3 means? When you have 3, it means a major version. And this block, it tells you it's a major release. And this part is a patch. It's a patch information. And then this version is a Red Hat version. EL7 means Enterprise Linux 7. This is a generic, not specific to Red Hat. This is a Linux version, and this one is 64-bit architecture. Everybody heard about 64-bit and 32-bit, right? Let me know nobody has heard about 64 or 32-bit. Anybody heard about 32-bit architecture? Oh, you don't have to worry about it too much, but it's out there. So most of the system these days R64. About 10 years ago, we would have some little bit of, I would say 15 years ago. 15 years ago, there was something that's 32-bit was there. 64-bit started coming 20 years ago, and after that, slowly we end up getting rid of 32-bit, and everything is in 64 bits these days. So is the software. So if you compare this here, it's a major version. So this part have not changed, and this part have not changed, and this part have not changed. And if you see E1160 is the Red Hat version. So Red Hat version has changed. Okay, and the Linux version okay, so this is the Red Hat version. It has 10.62, but here is 1160.31.1 here. You know what, hold on, let me exit here, let me go into my first box. Yeah, okay, so this part is, so let me go ahead and put that in here actually. And EL7 and 64-bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and update the kernel. All right, make sure you're back into the Linux box second server, and you do yum install kernel and hit enter.
I am not able to log in my second server. The same problem emergency mode.
What's your? Let's look at your second server. Your second server, Imtiaz, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So we need to take it out. By the way, everybody downloaded the link I told you to download last week, or maybe a prior week. Make sure it's downloaded and ready when I come back, and we're gonna have to install. You don't want to be left behind before the class is over. Let me find the link and put it in the chat again.
I have the same problem. I'm connecting to the host. It says no route to host.
Second one?
Same problem. Right. I have to try the first one.
Okay.
I'm getting the same problem as well.
Imtiaz, are you up now? Is your server working?
Yes, sir, it's working.
Okay. So let's look at the Adils. Okay. So the reason it's doing is actually supposed to, because all the LVMs are gone and is reading through the LVMs and it couldn't find it. Okay, so Adil is fixed. Who's next? Who's next? Okay, nobody else.
Actually, I still can't connect. It says the same thing, no route to host.
Yeah, it's coming up actually. It's not ready yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, try now.
Which command should we run for updates, sir, in current server 2?
Second server.
What is the command name?
What do you mean? Command
For
name.
update the
Yes.
kernel.
Are you into the second server there?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Okay, just wait. I didn't show you the command yet.
Oh.
yeah, I'm good now. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I sent that link again. So make sure everybody has the link and download it and be ready. Everybody downloaded the VirtualBox or no? Should I send the VirtualBox information too? Get the VirtualBox information from the website. You know what? Actually, I removed the VirtualBox information here. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and what I'll do is after today I'll make the important downloads here and make sure you download all that here. I also put it into VirtualBox. Okay, so the command is yum install kernel and hit enter. Okay, and it will give you yes or no, then you will do yes. So it gave you, if you look closely, it gave you this is the latest kernel, it will install. And go ahead and say yes, put Y and hit enter. Don't go into first day in your job and then do this here, okay? Don't do this, because this is have to be planned. All these things, the updates are planned. Okay, go ahead and hit enter, yes, and hit enter, and it will, it's very small package here. Oh, it's 50 megabytes. Wow, I thought it would be few megabytes. I didn't realize it's usually it is 50 megabytes. Okay. Okay, so what happened? The new kernel is installed. Okay, so if you do uname-r, it needs a reboot. The system needs a reboot for the kernel to take effect. Do you all agree? The system would normally need a reboot for the system to take effect. So let's go ahead and do that. Before that, let me see if I need to tell you anything else. So let's go into, you do pwd, let's go into cd/boot. Okay, and if you do ls-l, you have this much information here, right? So here you see the kernel information here. Let me clear it. ls-l. In this directory, this is the old version. and this is the new version here, but it's not taking effect. So what do? You restart the system one more time. So what you do is, I'm going to do, before that, let me copy this. Reboot for the new kernel to take effect. So everybody go ahead and reboot the system. You could also type a reboot command, REEBOT. It will reboot it for you. Give it a minute or two. In fact, I want to show you okay, mine got rebooted already. So when it rebooted, I'm going to go ahead and connect again. Connect to your second host, second server, and you do uname -r. Okay, now you have the latest version effective. Everybody's caught up with me? Go ahead and type uname -r, and then you should see a new version in there, 1160. Can at least one of you confirm you are able to do this?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good. You got the idea, right? What is happening here? We just did the update. So let's go to the Red Hat kernel versions. Okay, here are the versions here. So after Red Hat 6, what happens is Red Hat 6 is there, right? And if you look at the kernel version, they were on, the middle one is 2.6.32. And when it jumps to 3, then what will happen is they will name it differently. It was the Red Hat Linux 6 and it is Linux 7. So we were on this server here. We were on 1062. So we were on Red Hat 7.7. Now when we went to Red Hat 1160, our Red Hat version is not called. If somebody at your job, what version you're running, you say Red Hat 7. But in technical terms, you're running, you look at the version and you say 7.7. And I'm on 7.9 now. Because we jump ahead 8. 7.8, we jump ahead. And 7.7 was released in 2019. And this was released in 2020. And this was released in less than a year ago. Six is there, 5 is there, 3, 2, that was back in 2002. And I'm not worried about if they had Red Hat 1. So Red Hat 7 is still in production. Red Hat 8 came out, but nobody's using. Big enterprise, they normally don't use right away. Okay, if something latest and greatest come out, they don't use it right away because they can't. It's going to be a financial thing that they have to have in place for this to be able to do, right? Yeah, sometimes the architecture, you may have to upgrade the hardware and all that too. So see here, it went from 3 and the 8 is in 4 now. So for you to start getting a Red Hat 8, you have to install it from the scratch here. But I'm not worried about it. Nobody's using it Red Hat 8 yet, even though it just came out in 2019. So a lot of applications, they still are built on 7, and there is no end date when the support for Red Hat 7 is going to end. So let's see here if they have an end date. Usually they announce the end date, when it's going to end, when it's going to expire. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. There is no end date. They actually give them the name too. Let me see if they have. By the way, Red Hat is owned by IBM now. Red Hat is owned by IBM. Okay, 7.9 is finally. After that, I don't think anything is going to come out. The support, they usually have a support end date, but it's not showing here. And I mean, don't worry about all this here. Okay, so now this is considered. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
I said, how does everybody feel about a 5-minute break?
What? Hello?
Can we take a break?
Yeah. Let's take a good break here. Everybody come back at noon Central. So it's 11:43. It will come back at noon. So good 17 minutes.
Sounds good, thank you.
Graded from all right, and okay, I'm back here. So that's all about okay, so that's all there for the updates. And let me see if I'm gonna give you assignment from update side. Can you guys are back, right? You could hear me? What? I'm in class. What do you want? Huh? What? No, mama, I'm in class right now. We'll go outside. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. So the assignment would be Give me 1 second here. Okay, so let me put down the assignment here. Can't type. So this is assignment 8. So first one would be how many run levels are there? What is default run level? Okay, so that's that. And the next would be the third one would be how would you change the default run level? What is the command? I should say, what is the command to change default run level? Okay. Okay, and fourth would be what is your current kernel version? Okay, and what is the command? What is the command to install software? Give example. And install the software or package. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so install the package httpd and search online to get the answer and install. Show the is installed. Okay, and what else I need to ask you guys? Yeah, that's it. There's not too much in there. Okay, let me put in what is the command to install the what is the command to find out the latest kernel? What is the command to install latest kernel? What is the command to find out the system wide updates? What is the command to install system wide updates? All right, that's it. You're good with assignment 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and start a little bit of scripting here. Okay, I'm going to show you some basic scripting, not too much, and then that should be good enough for you. So this is 06/13/2021. Okay, so let's talk about scripting. Okay, so what is scripting? You would use this to automate stuff. So for scripting part, I have to use the text pad, because what Windows does is it will not Windows, but the Word document, it will try to do the word spell and all that, so we don't need all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that. For scripting, you'd use the notepad. Okay, so go on to your box and then log in as root. Okay, so what is going to happen is, I think I already told you, you could have like scripting is nothing but running multiple commands simultaneously. So it's called shell script. Okay, so if you have like, if you're running like ls pwd host name echo lsblk, so what you could do is, instead of doing all that here, you want to run this simultaneously, right? So what will happen is, so what you could do is, you type ls semicolon pwd semicolon echo semicolon. Echo will, what does echo do is, it will create a, if it's just echo, it will create a blank line. So if you go back up to our thing here, if you do echo command, repeat the text, it executes. So if you're just doing echo, it gives you, there is no text after that, so it's repeating it without any text. And when you say echo, this is line Linux, and it will do it for you. And then I'm gonna do lsblk right, and then I'm gonna do echo, and then I'm gonna do host name then I'm gonna do then I have a command, it's called echo. Give me your favorite command, somebody. df-h, and let's do
Who am I?
Who am I? Okay. So if I run this, all these commands are gonna run like crazy. Boom. All the command has ran. Do you see that? So let me clear the screen. Let me bring this line back up, and all the command ran. So who am I is here, root. So let me add echo here so that you could see it better. See? The output for who am I is a root, and before that you want df-h. So this is df-h. Echo, this is echo part. Host name, this is host name. And lsblk, this is lsblk. Okay, and before that pwd, it gave you pwd. Okay, it did ls because since there is nothing in there, all it did was just blank. And it do pwd, and then it do lsblk. This is the lsblk part. Okay, you get the idea here that this is
Let me give you the,
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. That's all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so literally you can literally have unlimited commands running from CLI, command line interface. This kind of commands is considered shell script. Okay, this is just a shell script. So this is same thing as bash. So what you could do is, instead of putting in line, you could put it in a file and have it and run it in the file. So you can so these commands can be put in file and ran. Can be put in file and run. It becomes a bash file. It becomes a bash script. So what I'm going to do is, let's put this in a bash script. So for you to be able to do a bash script, so I'm going to create a file named vi basic basic dot src. Dot doesn't mean anything. Just do the file name vi basic. But if you do dot src, you could give any name to it, but I'm just giving you src so that your teammates would know this is a script file. Okay, this is not necessary, but I'm just giving it to you. So in here, the file to become a script, you have to do pound asterisk bin bash. And your commands.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My party is works very slow. Is for the install the what we installed for that.
Mine is not slow. Use server 1.
Server 1, okay.
Are you able to log in?
It shows error. Okay, you can go ahead. I'm trying.
Okay.
I need to write bin bash.
Yeah, very good. You have to have bin bash. That's how the system is going to know this is a script file. Give me 1 second here.
But it starts with a hash. So how the system knows? Because hash, the system doesn't know understand anything.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. That's a very good question. I'm coming there. but I am really happy that you asked me that question. Okay, let's look at why bin bash first before we do that. Let me log in from the iPad here. Give me 1 second. So before that, the location, first you have to know where is the bash running it from. So let me quit. If you type which bash, there you go. That's where this is running from. Which bash? Right. So this is the location bash command is running from. And you know which bash, right? Any command you run, which bash. So this is the place you're going to take and put it in the script. Okay, so let me put this in here. First, find out the location of bash command. So once you did that, what you're gonna do is so you go back into the script and you have to put the location here. So this is considered a bash location. So this part a hash and an exclamation, this is called shebang. If your script is not running correctly, that means you're missing a shebang. So when your teammate says shebang, you're missing a shebang in there. That means you're missing a pound and exclamation. When you have pound and exclamation, you're just telling the script that this is run the command from this. Okay? And this is the location of a bash command. And then over here, what are the commands? Down here, all other commands comes in. Okay, so let me save this. So now what you could do is this is a basic of a command, right? So these are the basic commands here. So before that, I could also do this here. I don't have to put everything in here. I could go insert and also do I could also do what is the one we recently uname -r host name. Okay, and uptime. Okay, so when we put the semicolon in, it's running one after the other. But if you're not doing it, then you have to bring the command in the second line. If you put like command without semicolon here, it won't run. Let's take a look here. So how do you, then you have to change the permission here. ls-l basic. So what you have to do is the file need to be a execute command. So I'm gonna do chmod 755 basic ls-l. Now you have provided the execute command for the script to be run. Okay. So what you have here is permissions.
Motion detected at your back door.
Provide execute permission. Okay, and then this is the permission you provided. And after you provided the permission, all of them has read execute permission. All users now have execute permission. Everybody with me so far? Okay, so let me copy this. And how do you run the how do you run the script? The script is in the file now. You have to now tell the system to run the file. You have to tell the system to run the file here, okay, this file. So how are you going to do that? You type a period and a slash and the basic, okay, and when you hit enter, this is how the file will start running. The file will start it. This is the process of executing the file. This is called executing a file.
Mr. Safar, I think Adil says he cannot hear you. I'm not sure what's going on with his computer or not.
Who cannot hear me?
Adil?
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody else can hear me good, right?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. Adil, you might want to disconnect and come back. Tell him if he could disconnect and come back. Okay, so executing the script, what you have to do is you have to type the period and a slash and basic. Okay, so period and slash and name of the file. Period and slash and name of the file here. Okay, so once we run this, it will run it for you. Okay, I'm gonna hit enter. Boom. All the things in the script has ran through now. See how fast it's running? In no time. Okay. Are you guys able to run it now? Okay, the command can be put in file and run. Okay, and
Yes, sir, able to run.
it won't run.
No, I ran it proper.
It's running good, right? Okay, good. You're with me. So let me just put so you have to change the permission. Chmod and you run the script. Put the bin bash. So I'm going to go back into the script and I'm going to go ahead and delete this here. This is silly. Put the basics of the script. So system understand it's a script. Shebang plus location of the bash. In very rare situations, the location of the bash is something else, but most of the time this is what it is. Start the commands here. Okay, start the command here. Start the command. Without any text on each line. So you guys get the idea here. It's happening here. Okay, all this is same thing. In fact, I could copy this and put it in here. It will still run, because what will happen is this part, if you put the pound sign in here, it won't be recognized. Can somebody tell me how do I run the script? See, the script ran without any problem. And if I go back into script here and here, I'm going to say hash echo this line will not show, and I'm going to say and I'll say this line will show. Okay, so why is it that? Because we placed the hash start of the regular line. So placing hash will make system ignore. Okay, if you put the start of the command, it will ignore everything after that. So all these things are same thing. But since this is before since uptime, hostname, and uname-r and echo doesn't have hash before the line starts, that means this is good. This will run. Okay. this will execute and that one will be ignored. Okay, hopefully you guys like that, the way I'm showing you. So officially this is called comment out. Commenting out using hash. If the hash is present, anything if a hash is present leading any command, that line will be ignored. Okay, it's very simple, it's not too much complicated. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. And I'm gonna say basic and that command run. So if I want to make it look a little nicer, what I'll do is here I'll do echo I am running, I am checking for, echo I am checking for kernel version. Okay, and I'll give a couple echoes here, blank, blank, and then another echo, echo I am checking for host name. And so that it looks easier on the eyes, I'm going to give a couple blanks here, and I'm going to do another echo. I am checking for uptime of the system. Okay, and now yes, okay, so I'm going to give couple echoes. Okay, echo won't show, but the result will show. So if I do basic, it looks easier on your eyes now. I am checking for a kernel version and it gives the kernel version. I am checking for the host name and it gives the host name. I am checking for the uptime for the system. So it looks easier on your eyes. So let me go ahead and add another echo here. If you have too many spaces here, it doesn't matter. All those won't create another blank. But if you do echo there, and it will create another blank. So what you do here is you put it in here. So this is the cleaner version. Easier on eyes. Okay, so let me save this. Let me run basic. There you go. I'm checking for kernel version and it gives you the kernel version. I'm checking for host name and it gives you the host name. I'm checking for uptime and it gives you the system uptime. Okay, any questions? I should have put an echo here. Let me run it again. Now it looks much better. Let me go ahead and copy this part. And okay, so now let me run it again. So it's running it for you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this on the different server, not the same server. I'm going to run this on a different server like Zafar. So I go back. I'm on 2, right? So I'm going to just get the IP address. Go back in there and get the IP address for the first one and then come back in here again. Okay, so how do you run this? You type SSH. Either you type it, usually type it, make sure you're typing root also. Root at and so what you do is you run the command. You have to use the backtick, bash -s, S and a backtick. Guys, this is a backtick. This is not a quote. And greater than sign and input file, input sign. Now basic. Okay, where is this coming from? Don't tell me you don't know about this. Okay, I'm gonna prove that. Let's go to 2 more minutes will be done for the day. Okay, so
SSH root is the first server or your second server? Not sure.
mine is second. If you are in first, run it on second. Second, I'll run on first. Wherever you are on, run it on the other server. Do IP-A. You will know which server you are on.
So I'm in second server, so I have to
Run
go
it
to
on
the
first server, yeah. Okay, remember redirector? Now it's coming back to haunt you. Now we're going to use the symbol here. Earlier we weren't using a symbol. So we're telling the input file is basic. and this one is a backtick. Let me run it here. Which server I am on? What? Oh, it took time. I think it's not running right away. Why is it not running? It's actually not running. I don't know why it's not running. You're right, the server is responding slow a little bit. Okay, now it's running. The command, the password for root is, for the other server is Red Hat. Everybody, when you're using connecting from root to root, it's Red Hat. But if you're connecting from root to root, you don't have to do that, give the password. Like here, if SSH is established, then you don't need to. Okay, so let me clear this. Two more minutes, guys, I'm done. So let me just explain you what this is, then I'm done. Remote host. So this is SSH. User. Host IP. bash command input file and the script name. Okay, good. So that's it for today, and what I'll do is I'll try to make this public as soon as possible, and so that you guys could start working on it. And I'm giving you everything piece by piece. I'm not rushing in anything. I'm explaining you, stopping wherever I need to stop, and giving you this thing here. Once you know this basic stuff, what goes inside the script is meaningless. What you put in the inside of a script, it doesn't matter, right? Running on the remote host. Did it work? Did it work for anybody on the remote host? Did it work for anybody?
No, it's still giving me no route to host.
Because your server is down. Did you restart?
I did.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and disable all your LVMs there, okay? In the ETCFS tab. So, who are you?
Mohammed.
Mohammed. Okay. On the first host or the second host?
Second host.
Second host, let me go in there. Everything looks good. You probably, do you know the IP address? Did you end up changing the root password? Okay. The IP address for your second host is 10.0.2.11. Is that what you're connecting to?
No, it's 10.1.10.237.
Yeah, I think it has changed. Oh, no, you could still use that. Use 236 actually.
236?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the root password is Red Hat.
Okay.